Here we are cruising through into downtown Houma, day after Ida. A lot of tree down the bayou. You can see the bayou's pretty well destroyed over there. That's that way most of the way along the bayou. Trees torn down, and it said buildings. I mean, whole buildings just wiped out. Like that one, even worse. This is a feed store here. Looks like they took some tearing up. Destroyed trees, and now we got a bunch of storefronts here. It looks like they got hit pretty good. And you can see we've got quite a bit of damage here along Main Street. Roofs pulled. Most of this is roofing that's blown off the top. It's laying here destroyed. Literally just piled up. Cleared it out of the street. That's what they came through this morning, pushing stuff out of the street and trees and stuff like that, getting rid of the debris. And then here's the courthouse over here, and all the ancient trees. And these are the trees that have been through a lot of hurricanes. As you can see, these summits are all pretty much standing good and tall. They lost some limbs, but they're not laid over. They're made to take this stuff. But that's looks like the bulk of the damage downtown is along the storefronts and probably the roofs that are blown off. Almost there's not hardly a single roof. Look at this one. This one collapsed. This is a brick building that collapsed here. Oh my god! Look at that shit. That's a hell of a collapse there, man. All brick, stone. Hey, that's old building. That's fucking long. And there's going over Bayou Terrebonne. It's pretty clear to both sides in that way. Got more tree stuff down here. Actually, after Gustav, I took out about 15 trees for this guy. He's a lawyer, and I can see he's got another one laid over there on the side. But it was about a I don't know, about a 6 foot wide cottonwood that had toppled onto his office. Took it out of the stairs, and yeah, I took the whole thing down by myself. Rented an excavator and a stump grinder to grind them all down. But yeah, you can see it's basically a lot of debris on that one. They got the tarp on already over there. That's what we're trying to get now, is the FEMA tarps, the blue tarps to cover up all the damage. There's my buddy's house there. He just put that part of his roof on, and it's gone. But a lot of debris. Another big tree down. This is another house that I take care of. It actually came off in pretty good shape. I expected that carport to go down there, and it did, but all the fence and all the trees are gone down. Yeah, you can see that you're shredded through these taller trees. And this is the debris next to me. They came and cleared this through, like I said this morning. That's the tree that rolled over on its. But then my house lost these are slate shingles on my house, and they lost a couple of them. But my awning stayed on. The house stayed together. The shed disintegrated, but you know, it was pretty damn good. And then of course the big tree that went down was the first one to go down, was that side of the limb, and then it took out that side of the limb. And when this came down, yesterday on one of my videos when I was recording, I was saying, man, how could I be smelling natural gas in a hurricane with 100-mile-an-hour damn winds? Well, this tree came down and hit the meter and broke it underground. So it was pumping out gas from underground. They couldn't shut it off, so they killed all the gas down here. That's why our gas is off. But look at what's wrong with this picture. The steps go up into the window and are below level on the house. This whole house was sitting up on blocks, and it fell and shifted over this far, almost 7 feet, that it came down. It's not the tree didn't hit it, the wind. The wind blew it off of its pilings, and it's laying on the ground. That's a new one I hadn't seen before. That's pretty fucking wild. And you can see where the house used to sit. That gap there is where these bushes were along the edge of the house. They were the border there. So yeah, that's just incredible that it would do that. Well, I'm about 5 houses down the street from my house, with the house I was going to be moving into in the first, and it lost the front awning off the door, but it also lost 2/3 of the roof. And this, I just spent 65 hours painting this thing to get it ready to move into. And as you can see, there's no cinematch or planking on it. It's just the runners to put the metal on, and that shit just peeled off in both sides of the house. Tiles falling down, collapsing inside on the floor. It's gonna have to be redone. And I had a shed back here. We were over here trying to patch up some today and clean up. This is all metal that flew off of it. But somebody's got their generator running over there. But here was going to be my new shed to maybe make my new gold processing here. But as you can see, it got pretty well damaged, and there was this little closed-in area here that just was wiped out completely, as you see here. And then this house here was also stripped off, but we put the metal back on it, so it was held. But you can see metal, that roof there is stripped down. Just about any metal roof around here was torn off in some way or another, except for, if you'll notice that one right there on that porch. I built that about 12 years ago when I first got down here. They never treated it, sealed it up, but yeah, that, if you'll notice, that roof is still intact. So one of the only ones that aren't destroyed is one that I built, and that's called Texas ingenuity right there, doing the job right, my friends. So I'm pretty happy about seeing that. Plus my deck, that deck is built with 24 inches set into the ground, posts, lag bolted together. The house will tear away from it before that deck blows over. But my big pretty crepe myrtle that was here, same thing. It did the roll, the root ball. We've just been so saturated with rain the last 2 weeks. That's what I was telling my buddy. This is going to be happening. All these trees are going to be rolling over, and that's exactly what we've seen. So, but then the rest of the way down the street, you can see there's another tree that collapsed into the house over there onto the roof, and it just goes on next street over there. The whole street's blocked by a tree that took out all the wires. And there I'm kind of sad because that's my persimmon tree that I've been nurturing for years. As different tenants come and go to this house, and it's down. So it's just about to be, it's full of fruit, man. It was just about to be ripened up. But there's a big tree that's down back there. Take out all the fencing. That was a fence there. All the fencing's gone. So yeah, it's a rough scene down here. So like I said, I was really lucky to be as undamaged as I was. If you can see there's my flag. That's where my house is down. That's how far I am down the street from my house. And that giant magnolia tree in my front yard withstood it. As all these other, that's a cedar tree right there that you can see is the same thing. It's uprooted, the ball's pulled out, and it's slumped over. So that big cypress took a beating. It looked beautiful 2 days ago. It was lush and green. It's just been stripped and beaten to hell. But big tree, lucky it didn't come down. But that's it. It's a swamp tree. It's made to stand for this. But then and then there's the other side of my new house, or was going to be my house there with the roof torn off. So that's it. Just showing a little more of what the damage was, and actually how lucky I was for my 120-year-old house to withstand this the way it did. So here we go. All right, here it is, 24 hours after it ended, and our guy, they're lining up, coming down our street, getting ready to start clearing out and working on getting us back running. So well, these are the heroes right here. Yay! We thank you guys. Yeah. I'm sitting here waving at them on the porch as they go by. They're cutting lines, getting shit out of the way as they go. Most of these are all cable and telephone lines, but it's good to see they're working on it. They said they had 10,000 of these guys down here ready to go, so that's it, man. Just gonna drop that in. They're working. And I had my damage where it tore my awning off there and damaged my stuff a little bit, but all the rest of my stuff stayed in place. I was gonna move my ghost peppers into the shed for protection, and I'm glad I didn't. But yeah, I managed to salvage what I had there that wasn't destroyed. My pressure washer's still back there, and a saw. The mower's in good shape. That's our neighbor's go-kart. But yeah, that's the rolled door right there, rolled up and laying on the ground. And then these are chunks of roof from next door, I guess. And then this is the huge thing that was sitting on top of the shed, rocking back and forth, and rolled off, and it's resting on this house now. And they lost a ton of their shingles. And upon further inspection, I see that old Unsinkable 2 actually did get some damage on the way down, but it didn't penetrate it. I think it'll still work for a swamp boat.
I thought you were talking yourself, Joey.
No, I was just doing a damage video, yeah, showing all the different damage. And then there's this thing. This was a 2-story garage apartment that the bottom just disappeared after. That's the garage doors right there that are crushed underneath it. And as you can see, it slid over and then came to rest against the house here. It broke one window, but it knocked the whole house over about 4 inches off of the slab where it's sitting. But yeah, it's like the whole, like everything in there just disappeared underneath it, and it came down. It had it had the deck up here. That was about, you can see the post. It was about 9 feet up, and they weren't here. They broke that. They had to break out a window to get in today and get in there. And actually, it's in decent shape. What we're probably going to do is clean out. You can see that was the wall right there, the north-facing wall, where it just collapsed, blew it over. Just that wind for the north, 130, 150 mile an hour gust just blew the sumbitch over. But we're going to clean all this stuff out, then jack it up, and then let it come to rest and put it back down flat on the slab, and that'll just be a ground level house then. So yeah, and of course she had just put in a new deck there for her little pool, but did not anchor it in. I don't put anything out here that I don't sink in concrete.